Compromise cannot quash sexual harassment cases is what the Supreme Court said. It then has set aside a decision of the Rajasthan High Court to exercise its powers of the Code of Criminal Procedure to quash a sexual harassment case based on the compromise that had been reached upon by the accused and the survivor. Let's just get you the very latest. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vada. We have a whole lot lined up for you, including Punjab Congress chief Raja Waring has sparked a controversy while campaigning for his wife Amrita for the upcoming by-polls. He has gone on to say that she gets out of the house at 6 in the morning wearing a lipstick and wearing a bindi and returns only at 11 o'clock at night. She's of no use to me. She has gone out of my hands. Find someone else for me. Now, the BJP has gone ahead and slammed those remarks that have been made by the Congress chief in Punjab, calling those remarks sexist. However, the Congress party has defended the remarks, saying that the remarks are being taken out of context. It is Ravneet Singh Bittu, the Union Minister of State for Railways, who found the comment not just offensive and disrespectful to women, but particularly to working women. Listen in.
ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਨੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਵੜਿੰਗ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਪੀਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਤੇ ਸੁਣ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਬੜੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੈਰਾਨੀ ਹੋਈ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਚਲੋ ਗੱਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਨੇ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਸੇਧ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਬੇਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੀ ਚਾਹ ਰਹੇ ਆ
इन सारे मुद्दों को भटकाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। हरियाणा और पंजाब में आज मुद्दा है डीएपी उपलब्ध ना होना। कौन नीला कमीज पहनता है, कौन सफेद कमीज पहनता है, कौन लिपस्टिक लगाता है या कौन नहीं लगाता है, ये मुद्दे नहीं है। वो महिलाओं की अपनी मर्जी है कि वो क्या वेशभूषा या किस प्रकार का मेकअप करें, उसमें मैं या आप कौन है सवाल उठाने वाले।
बाकी मैं कमो गया जमा कल जब न्याणे निके निके ਤੇ ਘਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਤੜਕੇ ਸੋਚੀ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ 6 ਵਜੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ 11 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਲਗਲੇ ਪੱਕ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਮੋਂ ਗਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੱਚੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ 6 ਵਜੇ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ 11 ਵਜੇ ਆਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੰਮ ਦੀ ਬੋਲੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਲਾਂਗਰੀ ਭਾਲ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਰਾਟੀਆਂ ਪਕਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਕਰੇ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿਆਹ ਮਕਲਾਵੇ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਭੋਗ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਜਗਰਾਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਡੀਕੇ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਮਿਲ ਜਾ ਕਦੇ 2 ਮਿੰਟਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਬੇਬੇ ਦੱਸ ਇਹੀ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਧਰ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਰਿਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਧਰ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਰਿਆ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਕੜੇ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਚਲੋ ਕੰਮ ਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਇੱਜ਼ਤਮਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਜਿੱਤ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਚਲੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਸਮ ਨੇ ਜਿਤਾਇਆ ਹੈ नहीं तो वो भी कम हो जावा सो इन्होंने गलों का ध्यान रखियो सुखने आ रहे हो तुम बहुत चंगे लोग हैं ना मैं थोड़े चो कदे गया ना मैं थोड़े चो कदे जाना चंगा है माड़ा है पर राजा अपने एक दूजे नालों 100 गुणे चंगा है कदे ऐनका वंडदा सी कदे स्कूलों च बूट वंडदा सी कदे कोटियां वंडदा सी कदे कंबल वंडदा सी होर कदे कोई मर्जन लाया नहीं गा लुट के लैके जान तो बाद राजा वड़िंगी है चंगा माड़ा किसी ने भोग ते किसी ने विआह ते थोनू लंघदा टपदा वेखदा मेरे तो वध होर कोई नहीं वेखदा पर मैनू पंजाब की जिम्मेवारी मिल गई है मैनू पंजाब के कोने कोने च जाना पैंदा इस करके जे मैनू वड्डा बनावे वड्डा तां ही 500 कोठा एक पिंड च पाऊंगा ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ मैनू पंजाब तुरना पैंदा तो मैनू वड्डा तुसीं बना सकदे हो
Gurpreet joining us to get us more on this. Gurpreet, what was really said and what has really been made out of the comments that were made by the Congress chief?
Well, we have seen the Congress chief Amarinder Singh Rajawring. He has been campaigning for his own wife in by-polls which are going to be held in Giderba. We have seen he has given an example saying that his wife has left house at about 6 a.m. in the morning and she comes at about 11 p.m. at night, and she was specifically she fashioned while leaving from his residence. And now we have seen the opposition leader, they are saying that though Raja Vring was trying to give this statement on behalf of his wife, he was trying to allure the voters there, but it is the disrespect of the women. He should immediately apologize on this issue, because if anyone who gets ready, who goes for any job or any assignment, that doesn't mean that this type of the statement should be given against the women. So that is one of the major controversy which has been erupted between the BJP leader Ravneet Bittu, who is also minister in the central government. He has already criticized, condemned, and also asked Mr. Raja Vring to apologize to all the women, because it seems the way he has given the statement on the behalf of Congress leader, it seems that he had disrespected the women, and he should apologize immediately. We have seen this controversy has already been going on, and today we have seen the Congress leader Randeep Singh Surjewala, he defended Raja Vring. He says it seems that the statement of Mr. Raja Vring is being twisted, and no such type of statement has been given by the Congress chief. So let's see how and when Raja Vring, the Congress chief, is going to give his reply on the statement, whether he is going to apologize or not, that is yet to be seen. Back to studio.
Thank you so much, Gurpreet, for breaking that down for us. And switching tracks now to breaking news coming in, and we're talking about Enforcement Directorate that is carrying out searches at premises. These are linked to vendors and sellers of e-commerce sites in multiple cities across India. Which are these sites? Which are the people that they're really gunning for? We have Mukesh joining us. Mukesh, why is the ED going after these e-commerce vendors, and who are these vendors?
देखिए, अभी ये वेंडर कौन है इनके बारे में जानकारी नहीं मिली है, लेकिन ईडी सोर्सेस के मुताबिक जो बड़े ई कॉमर्स वेंडर्स और सेलर्स हैं उनके ठिकानों पर रेड चल रही हैं, जिसमें करीब 20 लोकेशन पर पूरा पैन इंडिया रेड चल रहा है, और दिल्ली, मुंबई, हैदराबाद समेत कई शहरों में ये रेड चल रही है। यहाँ पर मैं एक बात और साफ कर दूं कि जो ईडी सोर्सेस से हमें जानकारी मिली है कि जो ई कॉमर्स जियांट्स हैं, जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, उनके यहाँ रेड नहीं चल रही है, बल्कि जो सेलर्स और वेंडर्स हैं उनके यहाँ छापेमारी की जा रही है। दरअसल इसमें एलिगेशन ये है कि जो ये लोग सेल लगाते हैं, खासतौर से दिवाली के मौके पर या फिर किसी और मौके पर जो सेल लगाते हैं, उस सेल में जो पैसे की गड़बड़ी है उसका एलिगेशन है, और उसी एलिगेशन के चलते जो ईडी है वो इस मामले में करीब 20 लोकेशन पर पूरे भारत में अलग अलग शहरों में छापेमारी कर रही है। अभी और आगे क्या इसमें डिटेल्स हैं, कौन कौन से वेंडर सेलर्स हैं, उनके नाम सामने नहीं आए हैं, लेकिन जो ईडी है वो 20 लोकेशन पर अपनी कार्रवाई कर रही है, और एलिगेशन यही है कि जो सेल लगाते हैं ये प्लेटफॉर्म्स, उनमें उस दौरान पैसों की गड़बड़ी का इसमें आरोप है, और जो पैसा है वो डाइवर्ट किया गया है, उसमें ये भी एलिगेशन है। तो अब ईडी इस पूरे मामले में जो कार्रवाई है वो लगातार कर रही है, और फिलहाल 20 लोकेशन पर पैन इंडिया जो रेड्स हैं वो चल रही हैं।
Right, thank you so much, Mukesh, for joining us with those details. Switching tracks now to news coming in regard to Jet Airways, and it is the Supreme Court that has gone on to invoke its extraordinary powers to order the liquidation of Jet Airways in view of the peculiar and alarming circumstances that the resolution plan has not been implemented for 5 years. And to get more on this, we have my colleague Sunil Prabhu joining us. Sunil, the verdict has come in this case regarding the dispute as far as the ownership of Jet Airways between JKC and a number of airline lenders led by the SBI. And of course, the Supreme Court there saying left with no choice but to order that liquidation.
That's right. They said it's an eye-opener, and that is the reason why they have had to intervene and really decide that it is for the liquidators, the banks, to really go ahead with the liquidation process, because after 5 years there has been no progress on the reconstruction plan, and even those who had decided to come in, the consortium, they will forfeit that 200 crores, and the 150 crores which was given as bank guarantees has asked banks to enforce it. So it's in this backdrop that finally the banks and the lenders of the Jet Airways will be able to recover after the liquidation process the cost of this airline, which had been closed down for various reasons of omission and commission, and with no reconstruction plan forthcoming, and the consortium not ready to be able to go forward. The Supreme Court deciding against the NCLT's decision, and now deciding that it's the only best thing under its power is to ensure that it gets liquidated, and those who have lent money to Jet Airways recover the costs.
Right. Thank you so much, Sunil, for getting us those details. And of course, Jet Airways, that was grounded in April of 2019. And 2 years later, it was a consortium, the JKC consortium, United Arab Emirates-based non-resident Indian, who had, in fact, gone ahead and invested, saying that they had successfully bid for the ownership. Well, we have Vipul Saxena joining us, aviation expert. Sir, is this the end of the road when it comes for the airlines? Does this really mark the final chapter in the airline's long struggle to revive itself?
Yeah, I think finally what was seen for the last 5 years, that finally Supreme Court will have to intervene and close this chapter, because the way the lenders, the way the consortium was behaving, they were not ready to pay the amount which was told to them by NCLT, and they were just buying time. It was seen that someday it will go for liquidation. But the point which I want to make here is, who is going to pay for the losses that have been incurred to the various creditors who have been waiting for the payment for the last 5 years, number one. Second thing, the assets of Jet Airways, it is a depreciable asset. It is not a appreciable asset. Like in case of, if it was land would have appreciated. But these are the aircrafts and the machinery. So these get depreciated. So with the time, over 5 years, their cost, their age, everything has been reduced. So I'm really fearful about how the money will be recovered from these assets, and why neither the legal team or the bankers or creditors looked into this matter and try to expedite the closure of the case. Last point, I would like to make one very, very big highlight in the big grey area in the NCLT Act, that the employee part, the employees are the one who are the biggest loser, because their dues are pending, and as per the NCLT Act, if there is no clause of interest on the delayed payment or late payment, they will not be getting any interest on their 5 years waiting period of their dues. So whether they'll get the full dues or not, but whatever due they're going to get, it will be without the interest. So there are huge losses and agony these people have been going through. But ultimately, I feel finally the end of road has come in, and some solution will be found soon.
Right. Thank you so much, Vipul Saxena, for sharing all the wisdom in regard to, no choice is what the Supreme Court said, that they really were left with no choice, and which is why the Supreme Court had to go ahead and order the liquidation of the airlines. And let's just switch tracks to Maharashtra now. And the Congress has expelled Maharashtra rebels for a term of 6 years. And this is in regard to those rebels. The action has finally been taken by the Congress party there in Maharashtra. Now, it is Ramesh Chenithala who has spoken about the rebels who had copied the manifesto from the United States, saying that the rebels were against the official MVA candidates, and those are the ones who have been suspended. My colleague Radhika spoke to the Maharashtra Congress in charge.
My question to you, sir, take us through the guarantees that have been promised by MVA. They are very similar to what the Mahayuti has guaranteed.
No, it's not at all similar. It is similar to the Karnataka and Telangana pattern. And guarantees has been first introduced by Congress party in Karnataka. It has been copied by so many BJP states. But we are totally committed to the guarantees which is given to the people of Maharashtra.
Those are women-centric, youth-centric, farmer-centric, very similar to, what Mahayuti had been pointing at.
They had not implemented anything. Farm loan waiver was done by Uddhav Thackeray's MVA government.
Yeah.
It has been copied by them.
Okay.
So this is, after long deliberations, we have come to a conclusion to help the people and the needy people who are suffering because of the NDA government policies.
But all the
we are
parties,
doing this.
okay, are all the parties in tandem? Because Uddhav Thackeray has put out another manifesto, but are they in tandem with what the MVA has released?
Yeah.
So last question, Congress has decided to expel several of the rebel leaders, rebel candidates. Take us through
Already
those
we
details.
expelled.
Expel for how many years, sir?
6 years.
Okay.
Right, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. And let's just switch tracks now when we're talking about Jammu and Kashmir and the assembly ruckus that erupted, and the assembly was adjourned today till tomorrow over the special status resolution. It's the BJP versus the India bloc over the Article 370 abrogation. Jammu and Kashmir Assembly adjourned over that special status resolution that was announced by the Deputy Chief Minister yesterday. But it's the BJP hitting out at the India bloc, saying that all they want is that special status for their own very greed. Listen in to Smriti Rani.
जिस रेजोल्यूशन को इंडिया अलायंस ने कल पारित किया, उसके अंतर्गत वो जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत के संविधान के खिलाफ एक नई जंग लड़ते हुए दिखाई देते हैं। आज मैं इंडिया अलायंस के नेताओं से पूछना चाहती हूं कि भारत की पार्लियामेंट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो निर्णय सबको मान्य है, उस निर्णय का अपमान, उस निर्णय की अवहेलना करने का अधिकार कांग्रेस को, एनसी को देश में किसने दिया?
जो हम लोग हैं जो हिंदुस्तान को मजबूत करना चाहते हैं, ये हम लोग हैं जो भारत माता को मजबूत करना चाहते हैं। ये वो लोग हैं जो ना भारत माता के, ना देश के, ना किसी और के, ये सिर्फ अपने आप के। हमने लोगों के हित की बात की है मेरे भाई, हमने अपने बात नहीं की। लोग चाहते हैं जो नेशन कॉन्फ्रेंस बोल रही है, जो मेरे लीडर फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब बोल रहा है, उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब बोल रहा है, जो सुरेंद्र चौधरी बोल रहा है, वो लोगों के हित की बात है। जो ये बात करें, ये अपने हित की करें। थैंक यू।
And to get more on this, we have Ifra Jan, the spokesperson of the National Conference, speaking with us. Ma'am, take us through the comments that have been made by Smriti Irani, saying that the India bloc only wants a special status for their own very greed. Your reaction?
You see, first of all, Smriti Irani ji should know that this was an election manifesto promise of the National Conference, and the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the people who were never heard ever when the unilateral decisions were taken against them on August 5, 2019. It is not the National Conference saying this, it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir who are speaking for the first time. Let me take the viewers through the fact that people of Jammu and Kashmir had never been heard before, and this is what the people of Jammu and Kashmir want. Second thing, the resolution very clearly talks about constitutional guarantees. It very clearly mentions that whatever Jammu and Kashmir is asking for, it is pretty much within the Constitution of India. So I do not understand how this can be a Samvidhanic when we, in the resolution itself, is saying that we want whatever we want within the Constitution of India. So that is another thing. Third thing, if they have a problem with the resolution that the National Conference has passed, they can go to the court, they can get it dismissed. There are many ways of fighting against this resolution. Instead, what the BJP MLAs have done is they've started protesting right inside the house in the Legislative Assembly, and what they're doing is they're saying that we will not allow the house to function. They are not allowing the people, for 6 years they did not hold elections because they did not allow the people of Jammu and Kashmir to speak. Now when the people of Jammu and Kashmir are speaking through their Legislative Assembly, they are ensuring that so much ruckus is created. They're beating members of the Assembly, they're beating the elected representatives of Jammu and Kashmir so that their voices are not heard. It is scary how the Bharatiya Janata Party is ensuring everything within their might to defeat the constitution of this country.
Right.
Let's not forget, these are people, these MLAs are people who just 15 days back took oath to protect the sovereignty of our country. These are MLAs who took oath on the constitution of our country. So to come and say कि ये ऐसा कर रहे हैं, वैसा कर रहे हैं, please read the resolution, Smriti ji.
Right.
That is all I would ask of you. It clearly says whatever we want, it has to be within the constitution of this country.
Right. Smriti Irani also added by saying that yesterday's resolution shows the Congress and the India Alliance leaders tactically they're being supportive of extremism and terrorism. Well, moving on now to more news, and it's the Supreme Court that set aside a Rajasthan High Court order which had allowed the quashing of an FIR in a sexual harassment case related to a minor. The top court said that a compromise cannot lead to quashing of an FIR. The case was filed against a teacher in Rajasthan by a 15-year-old girl. Both parties apparently reached a compromise later, which is when the accused teacher had approached the High Court. While the High Court had allowed that relief, the Supreme Court overturned it. And in other news, the Indian government has taken strict measures to combat the massive pollution caused by stubble burning in the Delhi NCR region. The farmers found burning crop residue will face on-the-spot fines administered by the Commission for the Air Quality Management in coordination with local authorities. Now, according to the new rules, the farmers having an area of land of less than 2 acres should have to pay an environment compensation. And that is going to be to the tune of 5,000 rupees. That's 2,500 more than they were used to paying earlier.
Up to 2 acres, 5,000, then between 2 and 5, 10,000, and then it goes on to 30,000 onwards. So basically, this is after prodding from the Supreme Court, where it had called the CAQM toothless, that the center was not really helping and facilitating in ensuring stubble burning really stops, and wanted certain powers to be given to the CAQM by the amendment that had been brought in through the Act and the Air Pollution Act. It had become really virtually difficult for various local authorities to have penal powers. And it's in that backdrop now a substantial legal change has been done. This, of course, as I said, on the prodding of the Supreme Court. The big question is now, will this help in stopping stubble burning? Will action be taken at the ground, be it in Punjab, be it in Haryana, or Uttar Pradesh, and ensure that these places don't become smoke zones and affect Delhi. So it's definitely in that larger context that these amendments have been done. The Supreme Court will hear this on the 14th of November. We'll have to wait and see how they view this entire change and whether they're satisfied and the measures that are being taken by the CAQM. Because they've asked even the Delhi government and the Delhi police to revert back on a perpetual ban on firecrackers, and why they weren't able to adhere to ensuring that this Diwali things would have been better, because it was worse than previous last 2 years. So it's in that backdrop we'll have to wait and see how things play out, how they revert and how the Supreme Court views the entire issue.
And switching tracks now, talking about artificial intelligence taking over after inaugurating the National Judicial Museum. It is the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Chandrachud, who put an AI to the test on Indian judiciary. He interacted with an AI lawyer at the National Judicial Museum at the Supreme Court of India. He went ahead and questioned the bot about the validity of death penalty. And the bot's answer left the Chief Justice of India amused ahead of his last working day, which is tomorrow. And with that, we're slipping into a very short break. Back with a whole lot more on the other side. Stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India, beating all its competition. NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
तालियों के साथ हम स्वागत करेंगे आदरणीय मोदी जी का। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की।
Corruption first, आमचा अजेंडा आहे nation first.
घोषणा आणि जनतेचे पैसे लुटणं.
कट कमिशन आणि करप्शनला आमच्याकडे थारा नाही. त्यांचा परिवारवाद आमचा महाराष्ट्रवाद.
महाराष्ट्रामध्ये 1,75,000 जागा रिक्त आहेत. पण का भरत नाही? राज्याची जनतेच्या घमाच्या पैशाची तिजोरी लुटण्यासाठी हे सरकार आहे.
पूर्वीच्या सरकारच्या काळामध्ये निधी देताना त्यांना असं वाटायचं की त्यांच्याच खिशातले पैसे चालले. शेतकऱ्यांना मोफत वीज देण्याचं काम आपल्या सरकारने सुरू केलं.
I want to thank the American people for
Welcome back. It's the Congress versus the BJP, and it's the Constitution face-off with Union Minister launching an attack. We're talking about Kiren Rijiju, who's launched an attack on Rahul Gandhi for Rahul Gandhi carrying a blank copy of the Constitution. So Kiren Rijiju has gone on to say that the Congress is insulting the Constitution and the BJP posting a video of that blank Constitution copy being carried.
संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ करके नाटक करने का काम जो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है, संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ने से कुछ नहीं होता है. संविधान के अंदर में जो स्पिरिट है उसका समझना होगा. इसलिए नागपुर में नीला रंग का छोड़ करके लाल रंग में संविधान का कवर पिक्चर डाल करके राहुल गांधी ने नकली संविधान बांटने का काम किया. कवर लगाया, कवर के नीचे में कुछ नहीं था, मुझे बताया गया है. संविधान के बारे में एबीसी नहीं मालूम है राहुल गांधी को. आज कैसे किस मुंह से वो बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर का नाम ले सकते हैं?
And to get more on this, we have Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress Party, joining us. Thank you so much for speaking with us this afternoon. Well, we just heard Kiren Rijiju say that the Congress should be taught a lesson in this election. And why are you doing drama by holding the Constitution? Your reaction?
Somebody as mentally bankrupt as a BJP leader can only say that, taking the vow of Constitution and revoking Constitution and political rallies is a drama. This goes on to prove that they actually questioned, Devendra Fadnavis yesterday questioned the red, why is Rahul Gandhi holding the red color version of the pocketbook version of the Constitution? They have forgotten that the red is something that symbolizes Shakti in Hinduism and symbolizes feminine energy, strength and power and bravery. And now they're questioning red, saying that why they are holding the red Constitution. And if Kiren Rijiju has any doubt, I would love to send him the pocketbook version of the Constitution that Rahul Gandhi, shows in the political rally. It's very important here to see that it's the same non-biological PM-led government who has subjected the Constitution of India and its principles, values and institutions to systematic assault in the last 10 years. And we saw how various leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party brought out the slogan of 400 par from constitution change karenge, and that led them to shrink to 240 numbers in parliament, and this led Prime Minister to bow down before the constitution. So we know who does the drama of constitution. We know who has led a systematic assault on the downtrodden, on the minorities of the country, who has led the whole partisanship of the constitutional bodies.
What we just heard Kiren Rijiju say, that this is not an election agenda, it is a matter of honor, and he's gone on to say that this is insulting to Ambedkar ji.
I don't think anybody who takes the vow of constitution, who talks about constitutional values and principles of secularism, of socialism, is an insult to Dr. Ambedkar. And it's important, as I said, the whole 400 par narrative was a narrative to change the constitution. Now they have been in backward, and they just become the protectors of the constitution. The ideological forefathers of Bharatiya Janata Party, the Sangh Parivar, were the people who opposed the constitution in November 1949, saying that it does not derive inspiration from Manusmriti. This is the same Kiren Rijiju who favored Vice President of India, the Uprashtrapati ji, when he questioned the basic structure, doctrine and constitution. So the country now knows who is respecting the constitution, and politics is about constitution. It's about upholding the constitutional values in the country, and we are very proud to do that. It's not a matter of election for us. It's a matter of saving the country from the systematic assault on the constitutional bodies, with constitutional values, be it on the peace and harmony of the country. So it's not a matter of election, it's a matter of the country's come first here. And anyone who does not believe in it will term it as a drama.
Right, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Let's just switch tracks now. It's superstar Shah Rukh Khan who has got a threat call after Bollywood actor Salman Khan, who has received multiple threat calls. Now, the Mumbai police received that call. This was a call that was made in order to extract money, is what we are hearing. And the Mumbai police traced that call all the way to Raipur. The man has been identified as Faizan. Now, the Mumbai police has reached Raipur in order to nab the man behind that threat call that was made to superstar Shah Rukh Khan. Now, this is after Salman Khan has received multiple threats. It is Shah Rukh Khan who has now received a threat. This is not the first time that King Khan has received a threat. Last October as well. This was after the success of two of his films, Pathan and Jawan, that the Mumbai police upped their protective cover, giving the superstar Y+ security blanket. It was this was basically to ensure that he's accompanied by 6 armed personnel around the clock, and earlier he had 2 security personnel also armed accompanying him. So the superstar has received threats in the past as well, but the big question being, what was this threat all about? Well, it was this man in Raipur who made this threat, allegedly demanding a ransom of 50 lakh rupees. Do remember, it's Salman Khan who has been receiving multiple threats, and it is the Mumbai Traffic Control Police that has been receiving messages and calls wanting to extort money from the actor to the tune of 2 crores or 5 crores. Well, we have Radhika joining us. Radhika, of course, Salman Khan has been getting multiple threats, and that is because of the Black Buck case. Now, this big question as to why after Salman Khan, why are they targeting Shah Rukh Khan?
That was received by Mumbai Police, not taking the threat very lightly. Therefore, registering an FIR, the caller has at the moment been traced to Raipur for case registered. Now, trace on already identified by the constable as to who this person is. He said, "Mera naam hai Hindustani." So, could be a mischief caller, could be related to some gang. We don't know entirely what the motive of this caller is. Was it just a mischief call, driven by the sort of threat calls that other actors such as Salman Khan had been receiving? So yes, at this point, of course, an FIR registered by the Bandra police and efforts are on to nab this particular accused who's been traced to Raipur.
Right, Radhika, so that ransom call made demanding money to the tune of 50 lakh rupees that has been traced to Raipur, and the team of the Mumbai police has now reached Raipur in order to investigate the matter. In other news, it's Australia that's taken the lead in cyber safety laws, and no social media will be allowed for kids under the age of 16. That is the decision that's been taken by the government. Do remember, it was Anthony Albanese who has been speaking about this for a while now. So the Prime Minister there saying that the proposed law is likely to be tabled in the Parliament as soon as next week. He said that the proposed law aims to mitigate the harm that social media has been inflicting on the children. He has gone on to in fact add that he is speaking as a father, and this is for all the moms and dads out there who are worried about their children.
Social media is doing harm to our kids, and I'm calling time on it. I've spoken to thousands of parents, grandparents, aunties and uncles. They, like me, are worried sick about the safety of our kids online. And I want Australian parents and families to know that the government has your back. I want parents to be able to say, sorry mate, it's against the law for me to get you to do this. Now, government's proposed age is 16. That decision was made in Cabinet on Monday.
Let us get talking to the youth and understand what do they think about this ban. Hi, tell us your name and...
Hi, I am Archit. I'm doing History Honours from Hindu, second year, undergrad.
Right. And what do you think about this ban on social media apps by the Australian government?
From what I understand of this, we have this problem in India as well of people from a very young age getting into social media, and it does have a deteriorating effect on how their personalities develop. But again, when we are talking of entirely banning social media for all of this entire age group, then that does pose a problem, because it's very similar to, I think, perhaps let's say liquor ban in India or something like that. Then what happens is that people go to alternate. They do it sneakingly, they do it discreetly in some fashion that their parents don't get to know, and that all might lead to more problematic issues. So that's what I understand.
Tell us your name, and the main motive behind this ban is with respect to mental health concerns of growing adolescent children. What is your understanding of this ban? How far will it be impactful?
My name is Aditi and I'm pursuing my master's from DU. See, we live in a time when as a whole in the world, especially in our country, we're dealing with the phenomena of fake news the most. You know, we're the most heavily impacted country with from fake news. But I feel, as far as mental health is concerned, of course, I am way beyond the age which has been, supposedly banned in Australia. But I still feel being on social media from that younger age definitely puts in a lot of stress on children as they grow up. Their perceptions of how they look, how their body looks and what kind of stuff is put. So obviously and it's not just children, it's adults as well. Whatever that we are seeing, our perceptions are formed that way, whether it is political, whether it is related to pop culture, what we like, what we dislike. It's so heavily impacted by social media that, of course, mental health is bound to get, messed up.
Let's just switch tracks and now to more news coming in, and this is in regard to Anil Ambani's Reliance Power that has been barred from bidding in future tenders by the Solar Energy Corporation of India for 3 years due to submitting fake bank guarantees in the last round of bidding. This move comes as a significant setback for Reliance Power, which has been trying to revive its fortunes. And my colleague Sakshi is here to get us more on this. Sakshi, what can be the key implications of this ban?
Significant setback for Reliance Power. This, of course, is coming from the Solar Energy Corporation of India. Like you mentioned, this barring really of Reliance Power for up to 3 years from future tenders comes as a huge setback. And the significance, of course, means in terms of future projects, future tenders, that really will be the immediate impact. Remember, this comes just a few hours and a few days after Reliance Power has been looking at clearing debts for its subsidiaries. So, of course, this is not just a setback for Reliance Power, but also all of Reliance Power's subsidiaries at large. And of course, while details are going to be looked at, analysts believe that this coming in at a time when Reliance Power is looking at, clearing all the debts and clearing all the various issues that the company has been embroiled in, with the subsidiaries included, this comes as a fresh setback from the Solar Energy Corporation of India.
Let's get you the latest, and it's US Vice President Kamala Harris who conceded the presidential election to Donald Trump, saying though she has conceded the election, however, she has not conceded the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight as far as freedom is concerned, opportunity and dignity for all people is what Kamala Harris had to say in a speech that lasted 12 minutes.
But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service.
And it's the Australian government that's saying that it will introduce the world's first legislation to ban children under 16 from social media. Prime Minister Albanese said that the proposed law is likely to be tabled in the Parliament next week, aimed at mitigating the harm social media was inflicting on Australian children. This one is for mums and dads. They, like me, are worried sick about the safety of our children online. I want Australian families to know that the government has your back, is what Albanese had to say. About 50 Spanish soldiers, police and firefighters, some wearing wetsuits, searched an underground car park of a huge shopping mall in Valencia for possible flood victims. They used a small boat and spotlights to move around in the huge structure, with vehicles submerged in at least a meter of murky water before draining the flood water. Volunteers in Spain are helping rebuild areas 1 week after the devastating floods that caused over 200 deaths. Hundreds of destroyed cars are being piled up, all of them covered and surrounded by mud. As medical supplies arrive and are distributed by volunteers, national and regional authorities are advising residents to wear gloves and face masks to protect themselves from eventual infections that could come as a result of direct contact with mud. In a matter of minutes, flash floods caused by heavy downpour in eastern Spain swept away everything in its path. With no time to react, people were trapped for hours in vehicles, homes and businesses. Authorities have recovered 218 bodies and continue to search for an unknown number of missing people, while facing shortages of some basic goods such as drinking water. At least 15 people were killed in an Israeli airstrike which hit an apartment building in a village south of Beirut. Elsewhere, an Israeli airstrike killed one person and wounded 20 others in the nearby town of Jiyeh. Now, both attacks hit areas that have not been a regular target of Israeli military operations and had not received prior evacuation warnings. Israeli police used water cannons to disperse protesters who packed the streets of Tel Aviv in an outpouring of anger after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's decision to sack the defense minister. Netanyahu has dismissed the defense minister in a surprise announcement that came as the country is embroiled in wars on multiple fronts. A mass gathering that paralyzed the central part of Tel Aviv. Netanyahu and his defense minister have repeatedly been at odds over the war in Gaza. Netanyahu cited significant gaps and a crisis of trust as he replaced him with a loyalist. The World Health Organization has said that it has been working to arrange medical evacuations for more than 100 people from Gaza on Wednesday, which would be the largest such operation of its kind in 6 months. The UN Health Agency has been helping coordinate the evacuations based on a list of priority candidates that have been drawn up by the Health Ministry in Gaza. WHO has gone on to say that people with chronic conditions like cancer, as patients from trauma cases and injuries are among those who will be evacuated. The Israeli military releases a video in which it has gone on to claim to show forces operating in Jabalia in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. The north has already suffered the heaviest destruction of the war and has been encircled by Israeli forces since late last year. Dozens of Palestinians trickled south from war-ravaged northern Gaza, recounting how they had hardly eaten in days, with aid long cut off to the area amid Israel's ongoing military campaign. Now, Israel has launched a fresh offensive in the northern part of Gaza since early October, focusing on Jabalia, a very densely populated, decades-old urban refugee camp where it says Hamas had regrouped. Lebanese citizens travel into Syria through the coastal Arida crossing in northern Lebanon, heading to the Tartus countryside to flee Israel's ongoing war with Hezbollah. Now, Israel's escalated aerial bombardment has driven over 500,000 people to cross the border from Lebanon into Syria, overwhelming already strained resources and putting thousands of pregnant women in urgent need of assistance. The Lebanese General Security has recorded so far 361,300 Syrians and 177,864 Lebanese that have crossed into Syria from September this year till the 1st of November. Swedish environmental, this is the activist Greta Thunberg, who was in Georgia where she joined a demonstration. Thousands of opposition supporters rallied outside Georgia's parliament for the second straight week to denounce the election that was held on the 26th of October as illegal after the ruling party was declared the winner amid allegations of vote rigging helped by Russia.
Here to support the fight for democracy and freedom of the Georgian people who have been standing up time and time again against the repression they are facing from the state.
So I'm really glad to be here, and I'm looking much forward to spending time here and meeting with many local activists and learning more about the current situation.
Unionized machinists of Boeing have voted to accept a contract offer and end their strike after more than 7 weeks, clearing the way for the aerospace giant to resume production of its best-selling airliner and generate much-needed cash. Now, 59% of the members who cast ballots agreed to approve the company's fourth formal offer and the third put to a vote. The deal includes pay raise of 38% over 4 years and ratification and productivity bonuses. However, Boeing has refused to meet strikers' demand to restore a company pension plan that has been frozen for nearly a decade now. South Korea's privacy watchdog has fined social media giant, we're talking about Meta, $21.6 billion and has won. This is a $15 million for illegally collecting sensitive personal information from Facebook users, including data about their political views, their sexual orientation, and sharing it with thousands of advertisers. It was the latest in a series of penalties against Meta by South Korean authorities in recent years as they increased their scrutiny of how the company, which also owns Instagram and WhatsApp, handles private information. Following a 4-year investigation, the Personal Information Protection Commission concluded that Meta unlawfully collected sensitive information about 980,000 Facebook users, including their religion, their political views, and whether they were in the same sex unions from July of 2018 till March of 2022. Jennifer Lopez had a special screening of Unstoppable, a sports drama in London. The film is based on a true story of a wrestler who was born with one leg and won a NCAA National Wrestling Championship. Lopez has now played the role of a mother in Unstoppable, that opens in theatres on the 6th of December before dropping on Prime Video in January of 2025.
You are 6 months behind on the mortgage.
For me, this movie, it's not just it's so victorious. It's such an inspirational story. It's also a Latino story. So for me, it's always important to kind of do those type of movies and to play characters like Judy that I felt were very relatable and inspirational. To see where she started and where she is today is really remarkable. But it really is Anthony's story at the end of the day. And Jarrell did an amazing job playing Anthony. The things he had to overcome, not just physically, but also mentally and psychologically, to become the extraordinary person that he is today. It's not even so much about the wrestling, it's about the things that we wrestle with in our lives. And it's just a really beautiful family story, a beautiful story between a mother and a son, and I felt very honored to be able to play it, to be quite honest. That's what these stories do, you know, they remind you, like, no matter who you are, you have your struggles and you go through life and you can overcome anything if you just kind of put your head down and focus on the right things.
And Christmas arrived early in London with the photo call at the Tower Bridge for the new holiday film called Red One, which was released on Wednesday. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans and Lucy Liu were among the cast and crew who posed in front of the giant Christmas decoration with the historic bridge as a backdrop. The film opens next weekend.
One of those movies that I grew up on, these happy Christmas escapes where you can just enjoy the holiday with your family, with your friends, and it gives you those warm Christmas feelings, those movies that really make you remember what the season is about.
They were phenomenal, from Lucy Liu to Kiernan to, what's that guy's name? Chris, Evans. I love Chris. We became great friends on this. You know, and you never know when you put a movie like this together, you hope that you have chemistry with the actor who you're paired with throughout the movie. And the chemistry Chris and I had was just phenomenal. And you see it on screen. And I love that, you know, out of this movie, all of us became friends. I think we made a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It's big action. And also, personally for me, I think because I'm such a, because I'm so sappy at times, is the message. And that message is ultimately, it's the speech that J.K. Simmons gives to me. J.K. is our Santa Claus. He gives this speech to me in the movie. It always makes me emotional every time I see it, which is, he basically says, in this world today where there is so much noise and cynicism and finger pointing and blaming and shaming and things like that, that can be tiresome. It's our job to see the good in people.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Let's get you the social media message of the day, and it's by Prime Minister Modi, who's gone on to say on this day, one rank, one pension was implemented. This was a tribute to the courage and sacrifices of our veterans and ex-service personnel who dedicate their lives to protecting our nation. The decision to implement this was a significant step towards addressing this long-standing demand and reaffirming our nation's gratitude to our heroes.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India Century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
We reached an agreement on petroling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the petroling which we were doing in 2020.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always bustling. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. After Salman Khan, now superstar Shah Rukh Khan has received a threat call. We'll get you all the details, but first, let's take a look at the headlines. After Salman Khan, now threat call given to Shah Rukh Khan. This call comes from Raipur demanding 50 lakh rupees. A case has been registered in Mumbai. The call from a stolen phone. Delhi BJP Chief Virendra Sachdeva alleges irregularities in Delhi's power distribution company, says only 1 out of the 3 Discoms is in profit, and that Aam Aadmi Party is looting the people of Delhi. It is BJP versus the Congress over the Constitution. BJP says that Rahul Gandhi carries a blank copy of the Constitution. Congress, in the meanwhile, retorts, says that BJP is systematically destroying the Constitution. Supreme Court orders liquidation of Jet Airways, saying that the resolution planned by new investors 5 years ago was not implemented. The big question: is it the end of the road for Jet 2.0? And the big story that we are tracking at the top of this hour, Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan, he has received a threatening call from Raipur. A case has been registered in Bandra police station in Mumbai. Now, Mumbai police have registered a case and a team has reached the Chhattisgarh capital as well, from where a young man named Faizan, he allegedly made the call after multiple threats to Salman Khan. Now, SRK has received these threat calls. And my colleague Abira joins us to get us more on this story. Abira, just give us a sense of what is the nature of this threat and what are the police, in fact, looking at right now?
So this threat call came into Mumbai police station on 5th of November, saying that his name is, he called himself Hindustani. And he said that my name is Hindustani if you at all want to know my name, and we demand 50 lakh rupees from Shah Rukh Khan or we will kill him. So this was the threat received by Mumbai police, and the case has been registered by Shah Rukh's team at Bandra police station here. A Mumbai police team was already on its way to Chhattisgarh. They have also, according to reports, have arrested Faizan, but it's unclear that if Faizan is the same person as the call was made by Hindustani. They are trying to interrogate the person and find out more about it. So we have to wait for the police to tell us what is the update on that. But for now, I am outside Mannat and we don't see much security here after the threat has come in and the news came out of the threat. There are fans sitting all around this place. Actually, on his birthday on 2nd of November, not a single fan was allowed in this place, and they said security issues, and we saw high security. It's the first time ever that on Shah Rukh Khan's birthday there were no crowd here, while the fans had come, but police was surrounding this place completely and did not allow a single fan to even get close to Mannat. They were even diverting traffic from the end of the road and they were not letting them come near Mannat. But today it looks quite normal. If I can show you around. Today it looks quite normal. People are standing here waiting to take pictures outside Mannat. Of course, Shah Rukh Khan will not be waving, of course, today. But there are fans outside waiting and I don't see any police or any security as of now.
Right, Abira, a similar threat was given to Shah Rukh Khan last year when he was then given the Y+ security. Just give us a sense of how does this particular threat compare to the previous cases, especially of threat to these celebrities, of the stature of somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan is concerned?
Just not Shah Rukh Khan, we already know Salman Khan has also been receiving threats. These are mostly extortion where people call and ask for money, but immediately a police case is registered and that's why they get, Y security. For now, Shah Rukh hasn't got a Y security yet, but these cases of threats have become regular since last year. Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan are the biggest stars of Bollywood and everybody knows that. They are constantly getting threats for some or the other reason. While they get security security. While Shah Rukh Khan last year also, when he got a threat, he did get security, and after some time the story died down and everything became normal. And this time also, only the police will be able to say how serious it is, as the man who has been arrested, Faizan, his name is Faizan, from Raipur, has demanded 50 lakhs. We still don't know if he's the same person or that guy who had calling himself Hindustani is using Faizan's name to make these calls.
All right, we also have my colleague Paras Dama joining us from outside the Bandra police station. Paras, just give us a sense of the investigation so far. What are the police, what are the steps that the Mumbai police has taken so far in order to identify the real culprit, and are they also looking at other angles as well?
Police is investigating into all angles in this entire matter, because we had seen the continuous threat which has been received by Salman Khan, the death threat he is continuously receiving, and now with Shah Rukh Khan who has received a death threat. And this is very interesting to see, because the death threat the call was received by Bandra police in itself. So in Bandra police station, after the call was received, a FIR was lodged, and the investigation started immediately after the call was received. The FIR was registered, and then the number police was trying to trace the number. After the tracing procedure was over, the number was from Raipur, and the one team which Bandra police station made form to investigate into the entire matter went to Raipur and started investigating in this entire matter. After the investigation, they got to know that the number was registered under the name of Faizan, and after that he was detained and was interrogated by the police official. The statement was also taken, and in the statement Faizan said that he has also lodged a complaint in Raipur police station regarding the stolen of his phone, and now the main accused in this entire matter is still unknown, and the police is trying to investigate and try to sort out this thing what has happened, because police is taking this threat call very seriously, because what has happened in past few days in Mumbai is very, very difficult to for everyone over here. It will be very, very important how police will now investigate in this entire matter. But for now, the major update is that the person from with phone this has been received in Bandra police station. The person named Faizan has been detained. He was interrogated. Statement has been recorded, and now police is investigating who was the main culprit in this entire matter, who called Bandra police station and threatened Shah Rukh Khan.
Right, Abira and Paras, thank you very much for getting us the latest in that story. We'll keep a track of the story as it develops. Meanwhile, Delhi BJP chief Virendra Sachdeva, he has alleged irregularities as far as Delhi's power distribution companies or Discoms, that is BSES, NDPL and BYPL are concerned. He suggests that the Delhi government holds a 49% stake in these companies, but allegations suggest that two of them, BSES and BYPL, they have accumulated huge losses while NDPL operates profitably. Mr. Sachdeva also alleges that this disparity raises questions, especially since all three Discoms sell electricity at the same rate, now source electricity from the same supplier and utilize the same Transco wire network.
आज आप दिल्ली बीजेपी क्या एलिगेशन लगा रही है? क्या पावर डिस्कॉम्स जो है करप्शन करके लोगों से इन्फ्लेटेड बिल्स के तौर पे पैसे लूट?
मैं बड़ी सिंपल भाषा में एक सवाल अरविंद केजरीवाल से पूछ रहा हूँ कि 21,000 करोड़ से ज़्यादा का एसेट्स आपने दिल्ली की जनता पे डाला है कि नहीं डाला बिजली कंपनियों को लेकर, और क्यों बिजली की कंपनियाँ, दो कंपनियाँ BSES और BYPL, वो 26,000 करोड़ के घाटे में है। आप ये कहते हैं कि मैं दिल्ली की जनता के सारे बिल माफ़ कर दूंगा, सरकार आने दीजिए। आज सरकार किसकी है? सरकार आपकी है, आज ही माफ़ कीजिए ना। दिल्ली में 3 कंपनीज हैं, पिछले 10-12 साल से वो तीनों कंपनी काम कर रही हैं। एक कंपनी फ़ायदे में है जो पैसा कमा रही है और आपको पैसा प्रॉफिट में दे रही है। ये 2 कंपनियां जो घाटे में जा रही हैं, उसका कारण क्या है? उसका कारण सिर्फ ये है कि जो दिल्ली की बिजली कंपनी बनाती हैं, जो इनको बेचती हैं, उसमें पैसे का खेल खेला जाता है, उसमें पॉकेट मनी ली जाती है, किकबैक लिया जाता है, जिससे दिल्ली सरकार को फ़ायदा मिलता है और उसका खामियाजा दिल्ली के आम आदमी के कंज्यूमर को भुगतना पड़ा है विभिन्न टैक्सों के मुकाबले से। और आज भी वो बिजली कंपनी 26,000 करोड़ की डिमांड कर रही हैं कि हमारा 26,000 करोड़ का घाटा है। तो तो आखिर वो घाटा पूरा कौन करेगा? अरविंद केजरीवाल अपनी जेब से नहीं करेंगे, वो सीधा सीधा दिल्ली की जनता के ऊपर भार पड़ने वाला है। तो अगर बिजली कंपनियां घाटे में जा रही हैं तो फिर उन बिजली कंपनियों को रखने का फ़ायदा क्या है? आप उनका लाइसेंस रद्द क्यों नहीं करते?
Well, so the Delhi BJP chief has alleged irregularities, and as he was speaking to Ishika there, he has said that he has basically alleged irregularities as far as Delhi's power distribution companies are concerned. He has suggested that the government, that is the Delhi government, it holds a 49% stake in these companies, but out of the three, only NDPL is operating profitably. He has also alleged that there is a disparity, especially since all the three Discoms, they sell electricity at the same rate. Meanwhile, out of the three, only one is in profit at the moment. He has in fact also raised questions over the source electricity from the same suppliers. He said that all three source electricity from the same suppliers and utilize the same Transco wire network, and then raises the question as to why there is this disparity. Meanwhile, it also raises his allegations, in fact, it raises key concerns as far as losses and profitability is concerned. The BSES and BYPL, they have incurred significant losses, whereas NDPL has generated profit, and that is the point that he's trying to make there. As far as the regulatory assets are concerned, he says that the Discoms, they owe a lot of money to the Delhi government power companies, with irregularities assets totaling over 21,000 crore. These allegations and what are the implications, we'll try and understand that as well. These allegations suggest that BSES and BYPL, they have become sources of kickback for Aam Aadmi Party. The NDPL's recent profit dividend payment to the Delhi government, it also highlights the inconsistency in the Discom's financial performance. Meanwhile, Enforcement Directorate is carrying out searches at premises linked to vendors and sellers of e-commerce giants in multiple cities across India. These searches, they are not on e-commerce giants. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate is conducting these raids across Delhi, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. From what we understand from our sources, it is a pan-India raid that the ED is conducting at the moment. These raids are over alleged foreign exchange violations, and these raids are happening in Delhi. It is happening in Hyderabad as well as in Mumbai. 20 locations are being raided at the moment, and these raids are on various suppliers to the e-com sites. These raids are over alleged foreign exchange violations. All right, breaking news coming in at this moment. Congress has taken action against the Rajasthan rebel. Congress has in fact suspended Naresh Meena, who is contesting the assembly elections as an independent candidate from Deoli Uniara seat after rebelling against the party. So the Congress has taken action against its Rajasthan leader. It has suspended the Rajasthan rebel. The Congress has in fact suspended Naresh Meena, who is contesting the assembly elections as an independent candidate from the Deoli Uniara seat after he rebelled against the party. So after Maharashtra, it is now in Rajasthan that the Congress has taken action against the rebel MPs. It has in fact suspended the Rajasthan rebel, and remember, the bypoll on the Deoli seat is set to take place on the 13th of November. And it is Congress versus the BJP over the Constitution. Again, the Union Minister has launched an attack on the Congress. The BJP says that Rahul Gandhi carries a blank copy of the Constitution. Kiran Rijiju said that Congress is insulting the Constitution. In fact, the BJP posted a video of what you can see on your screen, a blank Constitution copy. The Congress, in the meanwhile, has hit back and said that the BJP has, in fact, systematically assaulted the Constitution.
संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ करके नाटक करने का काम जो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है, संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ने से कुछ नहीं होता है। संविधान के अंदर में जो स्पिरिट है उसको समझना होगा। इसलिए नागपुर में नीला रंग का छोड़ करके लाल रंग में संविधान का कवर पिक्चर डाल करके राहुल गांधी ने नकली संविधान बांटने का काम किया। कवर लगाया, कवर के नीचे में कुछ नहीं था, मुझे बताया गया है। संविधान के बारे में ABC नहीं मालूम है राहुल गांधी को। आज कैसे किस मुंह से वो बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर का नाम ले सकते हैं?
This goes on to prove that they actually questioned Devendra Fadnavis yesterday, questioned the red. Why is Rahul Gandhi holding the red color version of the pocketbook version of the constitution? They have forgotten that the red is something that symbolizes Shakti in Hinduism, and symbolizes feminine energy, strength and power and bravery. And now they're questioning red, saying that why they are holding the red constitution. And if Kiran Rijiju has any doubt, I would love to send him the pocketbook version of the constitution that Rahul Gandhi, shows in the political rallies. It's very important here to say that it's the same non-biological PM-led government who has subjected the Constitution of India and its principles, values and institutions to systematic assault in the last 10 years. And we saw how various leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party brought out the slogan of 400 par from Constitution change karenge, and that led them to shrunk to 240 numbers in Parliament. And this led Prime Minister to bow down before the Constitution. So we know who does the drama of Constitution. We know who has led a systematic assault on the downtrodden, on the minorities of the country, who has led the whole partisanship of the constitutional bodies.
All right. In fact, I'm currently joined by my colleague Aishwarya Jain to get us more on this. Aishwarya, just break it down for us, the entire context of this controversy, which has now led the Union Minister to say that, look, Rahul Gandhi is carrying blank copies of the Constitution. Break it down for us.
Well, massive face-off between the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress over the Samvidhan Sammelan in which Rahul Gandhi took part, and this is all over because of the Constitution of India. On one side it is to defend the Constitution, on the other the Congress Party had been saying that it is only because of Rahul Gandhi that Narendra Modi bowed down in the Samvidhan Sadan when the government came back of the NDA, and this was because of the pressure. There was also two of the pictures that was placed both by the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress on the red cover of the Constitution. The Congress thinks that red color is Shakti, its power and strength. According to them, the Bharatiya Janata Party had suggested that the red color clearly indicates of anarchy, urban Naxalism, and that's what Rahul Gandhi is supporting. Remember, the entire controversy started after the video went viral yesterday when Rahul Gandhi was participating in this Samvidhan Sammelan in Nagpur, and with the cover of the Constitution of India that Rahul Gandhi was holding and the copies that were distributed according to the Bharatiya Janata Party, they have alleged that these Constitution copies were completely blank, and this is an insult to the Constitution of India. This is an insult to Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who was the head of the drafting committee of the Constitution. It was also alleged by the Bharatiya Janata Party that it was Jawaharlal Nehru at that point of time who do not want Baba Saheb Ambedkar to be inducted as the law minister in his cabinet, but only after Mahatma Gandhi forced Jawaharlal Nehru, it was Baba Saheb Ambedkar who was inducted and later was removed by Jawaharlal Nehru from the cabinet. But on the other side, it is the Congress Party who had hit out at the Bharatiya Janata Party back again and stated that the draft copies, the Constitution copies that was distributed was just a notepad with Constitution of India cover that was written onto it, and these are fake narratives that are being spread by the Bharatiya Janata Party yet again. Kiran Rijiju, Union Minister, held a press conference and objected to Rahul Gandhi holding these constitutional copies, saying that blue cover constitutional copies are the right one, instead red color pocket size constitution copies, something Rahul Gandhi is holding, which is an insult to the Constitution of India. But remember, this fight is just not began in the Maharashtra Assembly elections. This has been started since the last elections when, the general elections were going on, and it was all the fight when Rahul Gandhi and Congress party had been saying that they are fighting these elections to defend the Constitution of India, and ultimately the Congress party had got over 99 seats and Bharatiya Janata Party was reduced to just 240. But clearly, the face-off continues. There had been different versions from both BJP and Congress, but it will only, these controversies, whether this will affect the elections of Maharashtra or not, and voters will be affected or not, is something that remains to be seen.
All right, Aishwarya Jan, thank you very much for getting us all the latest and breaking it down for our viewers as well. Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
तालियों के साथ हम स्वागत करेंगे आदरणीय मोदी जी का।
छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की।
घोषणा आणि जनतेचे पैसे लुटणं.
Welcome back. Punjab Congress Chief Raja Waring, he has sparked a controversy. This while he was campaigning for his wife Amrita Waring for the upcoming Gidirbaha bypoll. He said, and I quote, "She goes out at 6 a.m. wearing lipstick and a bindi and returns at 11 p.m. She is of no use to me. She has gone out of my hands." These are the words that the Punjab leader has used. Now, the BJP has slammed the Punjab Congress chief's remarks, calling them sexist. However, the Congress party has defended the remarks, saying that Waring's remarks are being taken out of context to divert attention from important issues. Union Minister of State for Railways, Ravneet Singh Bittu, he found the comment offensive and disrespectful to all working women.
ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਨੇ ਰਾਜਾ ਵੜਿੰਗ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਪੀਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਤੇ ਸੁਣ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਬੜੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੈਰਾਨੀ ਹੋਈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ, ਚਲੋ ਗੱਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਨੇ, ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ, ਕੀ ਸੇਧ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਬੇਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੀ ਚਾਹ ਰਹੇ ਆ।
बातों को तोड़ मरोड़ कर इन सारे मुद्दों को भटकाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। हरियाणा और पंजाब में आज मुद्दा है डीएपी उपलब्ध ना होना। कौन नीला कमीज पहनता है, कौन सफेद कमीज पहनता है, कौन लिपस्टिक लगाता है या कौन नहीं लगाता है, ये मुद्दे नहीं है। वो महिलाओं की अपनी मर्जी है कि वो क्या वेशभूषा या किस प्रकार का मेकअप करें, उसमें मैं या आप कौन है सवाल उठाने वाले।
मैं तमो क्या जमा कर जब न्याणे निके निके
ਤੇ ਘਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਤੜਕੇ ਸੁਰਖੀ ਬਿੰਦੀ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ 6 ਵਜੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ 11 ਵਜੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਗੁਲਗੁਲੇ ਪੱਕ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਮੋਂ ਗਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੱਚੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ 6 ਵਜੇ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ 11 ਵਜੇ ਆਵੇ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੰਮ ਦੀ ਬੋਲੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਲਾਂਗਰੀ ਭਾਲ ਦਿਓ ਲਾਂਗਰੀ ਭਾਲ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਰਾਟੀਆਂ ਪਕਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਕਰੇ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿਆਹ ਮਕਲਾਵੇ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਭੋਗ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਜਗਰਾਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਪੈਣਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਡੀਕੇ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਮਿਲ ਜਾ ਕਦੇ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਬੇਬੇ ਦੱਸ ਇਹੀ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਧਰ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਰਿਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਧਰ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਰਿਆ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਗੜੇ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਚਲੋ ਕੰਮ ਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਇੱਜ਼ਤਮਾਨ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਜਿੱਤ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਚਲੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਸਮ ਨੇ ਜਿਤਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾ
All right, my colleague Gurpreet Singh Chinna joins us to get us more on this. Gurpreet, these are very poor choice of words by the Punjab leader, the Congress leader, that has led to this controversy. Just break it down for us because a war of words has now started.
Well, yes, we have seen the Congress chief Amrinder Singh Rajavading. He has given a statement while holding a campaign for his own wife, and we have seen it has already created a political row in the state of Punjab. We have seen the minister from the BJP, Ravneet Singh Bittu, he has already condemned and criticized. He's saying his statement is depicting a different picture because it seems he has disrespected the women by giving such type of a statement. Though we have seen Rajavading, he was giving an example of his own wife, but he says in the public domain, if such type of the statement is coming from the Congress chief, it hurts the sentiments of the women. And we have seen the minister from the BJP, he has already asked to apologize on this issue. A few minutes back, we have seen the Congress leader Randeep Singh Surjewala. He has already backed Amrinder Singh Rajavading, saying that it seems his statement is being distorted and twisted for the political gain. We have seen even Amarta Ring, he has also given a defense of Amrinder Singh Rajavading. He says the main reason for giving this statement to give a message to the masses that his wife has been working from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. but he does not want to disrespect any woman. So let's see what type of reaction will be coming from Amrinder Singh Rajavading, because we have seen the BJP minister has already asked him to apologize publicly so that it should not disrespect the women. So let's see that how the politics will be played on this issue. We have seen it has already created a political row in the state of Punjab and specifically in the by-poll which is happening in Gidarba. Back to studio.
All right, Gurpreet Singh Chinna, thank you very much for getting us the latest from the ground on that story. Meanwhile, we'll slip into a very short break, but do stay tuned for our special show that we are doing at 5:30. Australia is soon to ban social media for kids under the age of 16. Should other countries follow suit? That is the question we are asking. You can call on that number that you can see on your screens for that. Time for a very short break.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just
Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global south especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं।
All right, welcome back. Breaking news coming in at this point. Supreme Court has refused to transfer the trial in the RG Kaur rape murder case from West Bengal to other state. The top court has in fact refused to transfer the trial of the RG Kaur Medical College rape and murder case from West Bengal to other state. This decision comes after the court reviewed the progress made by the West Bengal government in implementing safety measures in medical colleges, including the installation of CCTV cameras, construction of toilets and separate resting rooms. This decision is significant given the widespread protests and demands for justice by the junior doctors and the public. The case, remember, had sparked outrage, with many questioning the safety of women in medical institutions. There have been a lot of key concerns and questions that have been raised with respect to this particular case as far as the trial progress is concerned. Safety measures that have been taken into account for the women who are working in these institutions as far as the investigation and prevention of similar incidents is concerned. And now the Supreme Court has refused to transfer the trial from West Bengal to other state. Let's go across to my colleague Sunil Prabhu, who joins us to get us more on this. Sunil, just provide us more detail on the Supreme Court's decision and the reasoning behind this particular decision.
Well, a number of factors. I think today was the last day for the Chief Justice of India, who had suo moto taken up this entire matter of the RG car when it had really sparked off a public outcry, not only in the state but across the country. And it's in that backdrop that today the Chief Justice of India, while winding up, has made it clear that at present they don't see any reason for it to be shifted. In fact, taking umbrage at certain lawyers who were saying about self-gratification, saying we don't need your gratuitous remarks about whether it is self-contradictory or not. And even though he clarified that it was for the CBI, the Chief Justice of India was talking tough. Also on another lawyer who was saying that, the people of West Bengal have lost faith in the judiciary as well as the administration. He asked, who are you representing and why are you, you have to come on oath and explain why you're making a comment like this. And it's in that backdrop that the Chief Justice of India and his bench perused the entire status report, looked at various aspects and made it clear that they are quite clear that it should continue. They are quite confident with the judge and the CBI's investigation, as well as that there will be a provision for a further charge sheet if required. Even the parents of the victim, the lawyer made it clear that they're quite happy with what is happening in Calcutta, and we don't want anything to be destabilized at this present juncture and not allow strangers to intervene in this at this present moment. So some tough words. And of course, the Supreme Court has also taken note of this cabinet secretaries and what is called a national task force report. It has marked it to all state chief secretaries and all state governments and everybody who are interveners and who are part of the entire deliberations to go back in 3 weeks and revert back to the measures and the steps that have been given in the report and whether they can be implemented or not and how they take it forward. This was, of course, the last opportunity for the Chief Justice of India, who was with his fellow judges at the Supreme Court. He said his brother judges, Justice Padiwala as well as Justice Manoj Mishra, will continue to be on the bench once the new Chief Justice of India rosters it. And it's in that backdrop that they will continue to monitor and ensure what was promised and what has been envisaged will be taken to its logical conclusion.
All right, Sunil Prabhu, thank you very much for getting us all the latest in that breaking news story. Meanwhile, Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan, he has received a threatening call from Raipur. A case was registered in Bandra police station in Mumbai. The Mumbai police have in fact registered a case, and a team has reached Chhattisgarh capital Raipur as well, where a young person named Faizan, who allegedly made these calls after multiple threats to Salman Khan. Now Shah Rukh Khan has received these threat calls. So Bollywood's King Khan, he has got a threat call. Mumbai police has registered this case. The Mumbai police in fact traced the call to Raipur, the capital of Chhattisgarh, and has sent a team to Chhattisgarh as well. Remember, Shah Rukh Khan has got multiple threats got this threat after multiple threats were given to Salman Khan. What the police is saying is that the call was made from a stolen phone, and the owner of the phone is now in custody, is what the police is saying at the moment. And my colleague Abira joins us to get us more on this story. Abira, just give us a sense of the nature of the threat, and are these threats linked to any specific incident or issue as of now?
Nothing that we know of, or the Mumbai police has told the media anything about this, but I'll tell you a little bit. First, the call didn't come to Shah Rukh Khan or his team. The threat call came directly to Mumbai police. The Mumbai police got a call on their landline number on 5th of November. And it's what exactly it said was, the caller called and said, ask Shah Rukh Khan to pay 50 lakhs. If he doesn't, he will die. My name is not important, but if you want to write, note down my name, Hindustani. This is what he said. And immediately they traced the number, and like you said, it was from Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and they sent a team there. They have arrested a person called Faizan, whose number it is. The number is registered in his name, but it is not clear if he is the same guy who made the call. That is, if he is Hindustani, that the guy who called and said he's Hindustani. We are not clear about that, but the interrogation is on. When this happened, Shah Rukh's team immediately went and registered an FIR at Bandra police station. So this is what we know. Right now, I'm outside Mannat, and let me tell you that everything looks very normal here. There's no police, there's no security. It's everyday business here. I will just show you around. There are fans. If you can see, that's Mannat Gate. That's Mannat Gate. There are fans all around. This is the place where fans usually sit and wait for their idol to come out, or even wave if a car is coming out of Mannat. But I remember on 2nd of November, on his birthday, this was not the same scene here. So I was doing lives from here, and there was not a single fan. It was really high security here. There were police everywhere. They even diverted traffic, and autos and cars were not allowed to take this road. This is a very important road which connects Taj and Bandra, but they were not allowed. They were stopped at the end of the road, and there was not a single person allowed in this vicinity. So it was, and it was the first time ever that Shah Rukh Khan on his birthday didn't come out to wave to his fans. And everybody said only one thing: this is for security reasons. And today, on 7th of November, we come to know about the threat.
All right, Abira, thank you very much for getting us all the latest in that story. We'll keep a track of how things develop as far as this threat to King Khan is concerned. Moving on to our other big story that we are tracking, there was a ruckus over Article 370 in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. It was BJP versus the India bloc there in the Assembly. The Assembly was adjourned over the special status resolution. Jammu and Kashmir Assembly was adjourned for the entire day. It is set to resume tomorrow. The BJP says that the India bloc wants special status for their own greed.
जिस रेजोल्यूशन को इंडिया अलायंस ने कल पारित किया, उसके अंतर्गत वो जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत के संविधान के खिलाफ एक नई जंग लड़ते हुए दिखाई देते हैं। आज मैं इंडिया अलायंस के नेताओं से पूछना चाहती हूं कि भारत की पार्लियामेंट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो निर्णय सबको मान्य है, उस निर्णय का अपमान, उस निर्णय की अवहेलना करने का अधिकार कांग्रेस को, एनसी को देश में किसने दिया?
जो हम लोग हैं जो हिंदुस्तान को मजबूत करना चाहते हैं, ये हम लोग हैं जो भारत माता को मजबूत करना चाहते हैं, ये वो लोग हैं जो ना भारत माता के, ना देश के, ना किसी और के, ये सिर्फ अपने आप के। हमने लोगों के हित की बात की है मेरे भाई, हमने अपने बात नहीं की। लोग चाहते हैं जो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस बोल रही है, जो मेरे लीडर फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब बोल रहा है, उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब बोल रहा है, जो सुरेंद्र चौधरी बोल रहा है, वो लोगों की हित की बात है। जो ये बात करें, ये अपने हित की करें। थैंक यू।
An Australian government says it will introduce world's first legislation to ban children under 16 from social media. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, he said that the proposed laws are likely to be tabled in the parliament next week and that these laws were aimed at mitigating the harm social media was inflicting on Australian children. Listen in.
Social media is doing harm to our kids and I'm calling time on it. I've spoken to thousands of parents, grandparents, aunties and uncles. They, like me, are worried sick about the safety of our kids online. And I want Australian parents and families to know that the government has your back. I want parents to be able to say, sorry mate, it's against the law for me to get you to do this. Now, government's proposed age is 16. That decision was made in Cabinet on Monday.
The Australian government has banned social media up to the age of 16. So up till the age of 16, all children will not be allowed to use any social media. And Prime Minister of Australian government, Anthony Albanese, has also said that this move is in check with the mental health issues that adolescents and teenagers face, especially in their developing years. I'm currently at Delhi University's arts faculty. Let us get talking to some of the youth, young students here and understand their opinion on this ban. Tell us your name and what do you think about this ban that the Australian government has brought about?
My name is Navjot Singh. See, I have a very conflicted opinion about this ban. The first thing which comes to my mind is it's forbidden fruit in a way. When you try to ban something for anyone, there's going to be a certain impulse to try to access it. That is the first thing. So implementation, I have to go and read how they're planning to implement this because I remember, when I was a kid, I was 11, when they used to ask me on websites, are you 18 plus? I used to say, yes, I am. So I don't see why they wouldn't be doing the same thing. The second fact is that social media is symptomatic of a broader, like the mental health, I get the concern, but it's symptomatic of broader problems in our society. Just banning it, I don't see how that's really going to make an impact, okay, because why mental health is down, social media is a part of it, a big part of it, I'll admit, but it's not the only factor, all right. So banning it just seems like a convenient one-size-fits-all model. I don't see how that's going to really make a very big impact. Maybe 19-20 ka ho jaye.
And do you believe that such a sort of a ban will help or move any forward if brought about in India?
My name is Suhasini. I don't think banning anything would work in India because people always find a way around it. For example, recently the cracker ban. You see almost every single neighborhood in Delhi, there will be crackers. So I don't think banning something necessarily works, and especially in this case, instead of removing harmful content or removing content that has a negative impact on a younger demographic, you're banning them from using that social media when they could be using it for something else as well. So I don't think it can be implemented in India.
Right.
All right, the Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, he is addressing the media at the moment. Let's listen in to what exactly he's saying.
Or to partner this growth. I think they have a certain special importance in our eyes, and certainly I think you would agree that Australia qualifies to be one of them. Now, in terms of foreign policy itself, as I said, we think of it increasingly as purposed for accelerating this growth and development that I'm speaking about. In foreign policy, our objective is today to promote greater investments, to seek technology, joint ventures, best practices. And in fact, as I said, the CEO Forum report was something that we looked at. I spoke to Minister Goyal yesterday when I was on my way to Sydney, and certainly, our intention is to look at this and use it as a base for further conversation and discussions. Now, having spoken about India, I am the foreign minister, so it would be remiss of me not to speak a little bit about the world. And as you say, I do believe something happened yesterday.
Just a small thing.
Yes. So I think there are probably, to my mind, 4 or 5 important consequences for the relationship and for the business aspect of the relationship. One, there was already a reordering of supply chains which was taking place. It is very likely that in view of the election results yesterday in the US, that this would accelerate. I'd be very candid with you. I mean, some of it would certainly be somewhat disruptive, but we in India perceive it as an opportunity, because having kind of missed the manufacturing bus in the 1990s, early 2000s, we do think that this reordering of supply chain gives us a sort of second bite of the apple, and maybe this time around, starting with Apple, we are doing better than we were doing earlier. The second, there will be, in a way, more geopolitical hedging. What will inevitably happen as a consequence of policies which we can, at least those parts of it we can safely predict, will be many more of us would be seeking more relationships to keep life stable. The third pertains to the digital side, and the digital side now pretty much covers everything. And what has happened, what has been happening and will continue to intensify is issues about in a way of trust and what accompanies the digital aspect of a product or a service or a technology, I think will come under greater scrutiny. And it will reflect itself in different fields. I mean, you've seen that already in semiconductors, where there's a very conscious attempt at diversification of production, and the drive towards AI will further accelerate this. So digital payment platforms, for example, would become, in a sense, more valuable, but also, which platform to use with whom becomes an important question. A fourth one, to my mind, is mobility of talent and skills, because even as there is a re-globalization or reworking of the current architecture, apart from the technology changes, I think the demographic unevenness of the world is beginning to bite us. That there would be economies where the demand would be high, the talents may not be plentiful, it could be different in other places. And what will happen, in a sense, is already happening. And I can, give you some very interesting numbers here, is we will be moving, my guess is perhaps in the next few years, to a much more integrated global workplace. That many countries, and it'll be, to my mind, even a United States under Donald Trump, will make a distinction in immigration and mobility. That for them, economically justified mobility will have to be fostered, while those where the economic value is less or negative will have to be managed. So this is going to be, in fact, I tell my colleagues in foreign policy, I actually think for us, at least in India, it's going to be one of the top 3 priorities. That how do you create and manage and optimize a global workplace? Now the global workplace doesn't mean that the talent alone has to move. Businesses can move as well. We've already seen in the last few years, right now by the last count, we have about 1,800 global capability centers in India, which between them generate about $150 billion worth of exports. So we see this trend intensify, because the more technology-driven, more digital era is going to require a certain concentration and access to skills and talent. So whether the talent goes to the business or the business goes to the talent, that's a decision which corporates will be making. And finally, we do think that again, politics notwithstanding, the world will be greener. That while the pace of the greening of the economy may vary, definitely if one looks today, we are certainly taking a big bet on green hydrogen, on green ammonia. We are thinking of green shipping corridors. Electric mobility is already upon us. We are looking at biodiesel. In fact, that's something we are pushing very strongly at sustainable aviation fuel. So that whole world is green steel. These are going to come. Politics or no politics, it may come faster, it may come in some countries more than other countries, but it will actually not stop as a global trend. So these, to my mind, would be the geopolitical factors we have to contend with, and which our relationship, now we can either sit back and watch it, resist it in some cases, or leverage it in many cases. That choice is up to us. We as relationship managers, all of you as enterprises with a stake in it. So that's the broad picture. One last word. As I said, it helps when you are re-elected. It helps even more when you're re-elected twice. So we've got off to a fast start. We've done less than 150 days of the third term. But even in this period, we have made we've taken some very big calls. Among the calls which might be of interest to you, one is to set up 12 major industrial zones across India with a view to attracting global manufacturing and promoting domestic manufacturing. Secondly, to double down on the infrastructure spending, because the infrastructure investments are still primarily driven by government spending. So we will continue to do that, and we hope to see a greater private sector involvement there. And we intend to connect that to the zones in question. 3, a big focus on human resources development, on skills. We are encouraging corporates to do more internship. There's a kind of a Prime Minister's internship scheme which we have announced for promote stronger rural growth, because again, historically that's been the laggard sector. That's changing now. So as the agrarian economy really sort of gets better value for its production, we are seeing actually the gaps between industrial growth and rural growth narrow in comparison to the past. And finally, as I said, prepare for this different world which we are looking at, a world of AI, a world of EV, a world of really greener services and greener products. So that's really the picture which I want to present to you. I'd be very happy to listen to any comments you have, any suggestions, any problems. And I do say this, if you have problems, we would frankly like to hear from you, maybe in front of others, but maybe not. Maybe you want to tell us separately. My own experience with many other...
All right, time now for a very short break, but do stay tuned for a special show that we are bringing to you at 5:30 p.m. Today. Australia is set to soon ban social media for kids under the age of 16. Should other countries follow suit? That is the question we are asking. You can tune in and call us on the number that you can see on your screens.
We reached an agreement on petroling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the petroling which we were doing in 2020.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always bustling. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Our $7 trillion economy.
घोषणा
आणि जनतेचे पैसे लुटणं.
कट कमिशन आणि करप्शनला आमच्याकडे थारा नाही. त्यांचा परिवारवाद आमचा महाराष्ट्रवाद.
महाराष्ट्रामध्ये 1,75,000 जागा रिक्त मग का भरत नाही? राज्याची जनतेच्या घमाच्या पैशाची तिजोरी लुटण्यासाठी हे सरकार आहे.
पूर्वीच्या सरकारच्या काळामध्ये निधी देताना त्यांना असं वाटायचं की त्यांच्याच खिशातले पैसे चालले. शेतकऱ्यांना मोफत वीज देण्याचं काम आपल्या सरकारने सुरू केलं.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The Australian government, it has decided to ban social media for children under the age of 16. Should other countries also follow suit? That is the question. You can in fact call us on the number that you can see on your screens at 5:30 today and give us your views. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the headlines. Delhi BJP chief alleges irregularities in Delhi's power distribution companies, says only 1 out of 3 Discoms is in profit, and that the Aam Aadmi Party is looting the people of Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party says that BJP's allegations are baseless. The latest in the Kolkata rape and murder case, Supreme Court says it won't transfer the trial to other state. Top court refuses to transfer the case outside West Bengal. After Salman Khan, now actor Shah Rukh Khan receives a threat call. The call comes from Raipur and demands 50 lakh rupees. A case has been registered in Mumbai, although the police says that the call was made from a stolen phone. It is BJP versus the Congress over Constitution. BJP says that Rahul Gandhi carries a blank copy of the Constitution. Congress retorts, says that BJP has systematically destroyed the Constitution. The Supreme Court orders liquidation of Jet Airways, saying that the resolution planned by new investors 5 years ago was not implemented. The big question, is it the end of the road for Jet 2.0? Well, the Delhi BJP chief has alleged irregularities as far as Delhi's power distribution companies or the Discoms, BSES, NDPL and BYPL are concerned. He suggests that the Delhi government holds a 49% stake in these companies, but allegations suggest that two of them, BSES and BYPL, they have accumulated huge losses while NDPL, it is operating profitably. Mr. Sachdeva also alleges that this disparity raises questions, especially since all the three Discoms, they sell electricity at the same rate, source electricity from the same suppliers and utilize the same Transco wire network.
आज आप दिल्ली बीजेपी क्या एलिगेशन लगा रही है? क्या पावर डिस्कॉम्स जो है करप्शन करके लोगों से इन्फ्लेटेड बिल्स के तौर पे पैसे लूट?
मैं बड़ी सिंपल भाषा में एक सवाल अरविंद केजरीवाल से पूछ रहा हूँ कि 21,000 करोड़ से ज़्यादा का एसेट्स आपने दिल्ली की जनता पे डाला है कि नहीं डाला बिजली कंपनियों को लेकर? और क्यों बिजली की कंपनियाँ, दो कंपनियाँ BSES और BYPL, वो 26,000 करोड़ के घाटे में है? आप ये कहते हैं कि मैं दिल्ली की जनता के सारे बिल माफ़ कर दूंगा, सरकार आने दीजिए। आज सरकार किसकी है? सरकार आपकी है, आज ही माफ़ कीजिए ना। दिल्ली में 3 कंपनीज हैं, पिछले 10-12 साल से वो तीनों कंपनी काम कर रही हैं। एक कंपनी फ़ायदे में है जो पैसा कमा रही है और आपको पैसा प्रॉफिट में दे रही है। ये 2 कंपनियां जो घाटे में जा रही हैं, उसका कारण क्या है? उसका कारण सिर्फ ये है कि जो दिल्ली की बिजली कंपनी बनाती हैं, जो इनको बेचती हैं, उसमें पैसे का खेल खेला जाता है, उसमें पॉकेट मनी ली जाती है, किकबैक लिया जाता है, जिससे दिल्ली सरकार को फ़ायदा मिलता है और उसका खामियाजा दिल्ली के आम आदमी के कंज्यूमर को भुगतना पड़ा है विभिन्न टैक्सों के मुकाबले से। और आज भी वो बिजली कंपनी 26,000 करोड़ की डिमांड कर रही हैं कि हमारा 26,000 करोड़ का घाटा है। तो आखिर वो घाटा पूरा कौन करेगा? अरविंद केजरीवाल अपनी जेब से नहीं करेंगे, वो सीधा सीधा दिल्ली की जनता के ऊपर भार पड़ने वाला है। तो अगर बिजली कंपनियां घाटे में जा रही हैं तो फिर उन बिजली कंपनियों को रखने का फ़ायदा क्या है? आप उनका लाइसेंस रद्द क्यों नहीं करते?
All right, I've got Piyush Joshi, an Aam Aadmi Party supporter, to reply to these allegations. Piyush, how do you respond to the allegations of these irregularities in the Discoms as suggested by Virendra Sachdeva there?
Well, that's the job of the Bharatiya Janata Party to suggest that Aam Aadmi Party is involved in irregularities. Then they, I fail to understand who has stopped the union government from commencing a CAG audit of all the, power companies in this case. Any person with a basic understanding of business will tell you that nobody can operate with a loss of 26,000 crores. No matter what the magnitude of a company is, unless and until we are talking about a Walmart or an Amazon or someone like that. So the power Discom companies, the power companies which are supplying to the Delhi government are not going to operate it if they are continuously making losses, and losses to the magnitude of 26,000 crores. So the easiest solution out is appoint an auditor. The CAG should audit each and every book of these power companies, and the truth will be out in the open. The main thing is BJP is just trying to score brawny political points, because the elections are around the corner. The BJP has no leader to portray in front of the people of Delhi. The BJP has no issue. The BJP has not been able to address any issue of governance, has not been able to prove any case of corruption so far, despite 10 years of investigation. So that's why they are lashing on to anything that they can grab their hands upon, and the people of Delhi will respond accordingly.
Right, but give us a sense of, as in just explain it to us, why a certain NDPL is operating profitably while the other Discoms are incurring losses. And this is what Virendra Sachdeva is also saying.
That is if we take Virendra Sachdeva's comments at their face value. How much is the truth in that? How are we going to find out the truth? Are we going to take the power companies' statements at their face value, or are we going to audit them once and for all in real terms and get the truth out? So whenever Arvind Kejriwal has talked about CAG audits of these companies, the union government, the Modi government, the Home Ministry, the LG, they have turned deaf ears to that. So if you want the truth out in open, just ask the CAG to audit these companies. And audit these companies not only right now, audit the records of these companies over a period of past 20 to 25 years, and the truth will be out in the open. And otherwise, we will just keep on getting all these political tussles and hustles, and we will not get to the bottom of the truth.
But you also need to understand that regulatory assets is also one of the big factors here, because these Discoms, they owe over 26,000 crore to the Delhi government power companies, and with regulatory assets totaling from rupees 21,000 crores. All right, we'll try and get back to Piyush Joshi later. Meanwhile, breaking news coming in, the Ministry of External Affairs, it is conducting a press conference at the moment. Let's listen in to what is being said.
Around the month of November, December, they need several documentation for continuation of their pensions and several other activities here in India. So this consular camp that we do is helpful to the community, to both people of Indian nationality and people who are of Indian origin but Canadian nationals today. So that is the reason why the consular camps have had to be cancelled. But I do understand that in other parts of Canada, Vancouver for example, the consular camps will be conducted. These consular camps are conducted at the request of the community organizations. So where the community organization is comfortable, we'll go ahead with these consular camps. The other question you had about was about recent escalations, etc. On that, you have seen our comments that we made. We condemned the attack on the temple in Brampton, and we also called upon the Canadian government to uphold rule of law and to bring to justice people who perpetrated the violence. We hope that the Canadian government will take due action. Uma, on your question, Kabul पे हमारे जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी जो हैं पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान, ईरान देखते हैं हमारे मंत्रालय में, जेपी सिंह, उन्होंने यात्रा की अफगानिस्तान की, काबुल में। वहाँ पर ये 4 और 5 नवंबर को हुआ। वहाँ पर उन्होंने कई एक मंत्रीगण से मिले और कई एक वहाँ पर के जो सीनियर ऑफिशियल्स हैं उनसे उनकी मुलाकात हुई। बहुत सारे विषयों पर चर्चा हुई, खासकर जो मानवीय सहायता हम देते हैं अफगानिस्तान को। इस बात पे भी चर्चा हुई कि चाबहार का जो बंदरगाह है उस पर आपने देखा होगा कुछ दिन पहले हम लोग ने एक संधि हुई थी, एक नया अरेंजमेंट आया है। किस प्रकार से अफगानिस्तान के जो व्यावसायिक समुदाय हैं, बिजनेस ग्रुप्स हैं, उन लोग किस प्रकार से इस बंदरगाह का, इस पोर्ट का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, जो नया एक कनेक्टिविटी का एक नया कॉरिडोर जो स्थापित हुआ है। उसके अलावा आपको ध्यान होगा कि पिछले कुछ महीने में और पिछले सालों में हम लोगों ने कई एक प्रकार से मानवीय सहायता अफगानिस्तान को मुहैया कराया है। और मैं एक बार फिर से कहना चाहूँगा कि हम लोगों ने मानवीय सहायता के रूप में 50,000 मीट्रिक टन गेहूं, 40,000 लीटर मेलाथ्योनिन जो कि एक पेस्टिसाइड होता है उसका मुहैया कराया है। और उसके अलावा 300 टन हमने दवाइयाँ भी उनको भेजी है और 28 टन जो अर्थक्वेक रिलीफ मटेरियल होता है वो भी हम लोगों ने उनको प्रदान किया है। और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि हमारे ज़मीनी स्तर पर, समाज के स्तर पर अफगानिस्तान के साथ, वहाँ के लोगों के साथ बहुत पुराने संबंध है, ऐतिहासिक संबंध है। और ये संबंध हमारे जो अप्रोच है उस देश के साथ वो आगे इसको गाइड करता रहेगा। So we had a delegation led by Mr. J.P. Singh, who is the Joint Secretary in charge of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran in the Ministry of External Affairs. He visited Kabul on 4th and 5th of November. During the visit, he had several meetings with the Afghan minister, including with the acting defense minister. He also called on former President Hamid Karzai. He also met the head of UN agencies there and several other senior ministers. They had discussions on the India's humanitarian assistance that we're providing to people in Afghanistan, as also how the Chabahar port can be utilized by the business community in Afghanistan for transactions and for export and import and any other thing that they would like to do for. I also want to recall here that providing humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan is an important part of our assistance program. And so far, in the last few months and few years, we have dispatched several shipments of humanitarian assistance, which includes 50,000 metric tons of wheat, 40,000 liters of melathronium, which is a pesticide, 30 tons of medicines, and 28 tons of earthquake relief aid. We have, as you know, we have long-standing ties with the people of Afghanistan, and these ties will continue to guide our approach towards the country. Krish Mohan ji, you would have seen our statements that we made condemning the incident of violence in Brampton. You would also seen that our Prime Minister also expressed and strongly condemned what's going on there. We hope that the Government of Canada will take due action, strong action against the perpetrators and uphold rule of law. That is what our expectation is. Ayushi, External Affairs Minister, is in Sydney today. You would have seen that he was some time back speaking to the business community, CEOs. He was addressing a CEOs roundtable. He also had a meeting with Australian Foreign Minister, where they together attended the 15th India-Australia Framework Dialogue. As part of the dialogue, all issues were discussed, and yes, External Affairs Minister did discuss all our security concerns that we have with Australia. So I would like to confirm that for you. Ishi on India-US ties. See, look, this India-US partnership is a special, very special and a multifaceted partnership. Our Prime Minister spoke to President Trump yesterday. Before that, he also sent a message on ex post congratulating him on his historic election victory. As fellow democracy, India celebrates this expression of people's mandate in the United States. Prime Minister conveyed to President-elect that we look forward to working very closely, as he had done with him earlier as well, closely to further strengthen India-US comprehensive global and strategic partnership. Both India and the United States will work for the betterment of the people and to promote global peace and stability and prosperity. So we want to further strengthen our partnership, and we look forward to it. As far as your questions regarding what sort of approach they will have on X country, etc., these are questions which the US government would answer for you. Can we go forward? Siddhant?
Hi sir, I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, I have two questions. One is it true that social media pages of Australia Today, a prominent media outlet in Australia, has been banned in Canada? And my second question is, sir, regarding the state of Mizoram. Chief Minister of Mizoram, Lal Thoma, made a speech in the United States on 4th September, where he spoke about the unjustly divided Zo community and said we are forced to live under three different governments between India, Myanmar and Bangladesh. Sir, want to know your response on the Chief Minister's reaction, and also did the team from the government visit Chief Minister after this statement? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Runjun.
Runjun Sharma, RT. This is in continuation with the India-Canada story. Just for a bit more clarity, did India ask for security for the consular camps, and was that denied by Canada?
Okay. Keshav?
Sir, this is Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. Just following up on Canada, can you give us a sense of whether in the last year, since the Chilean diplomatic ties, whether there has been more threats to our diplomats and consular officials in Canada, whether the threats have increased against them, and a sense of whether there have been any other incidents with regards to our consular camps in the recent past that have been threatened by violence. And just secondly, on the EAM's visit to Australia, he had said that we are working proactively on peace in different regions. Could you just give us a sense of, what he meant by the kind of steps that we are taking to support peace in Russia, Ukraine, as well as the Gaza conflict? Thank you, sir.
Okay. अशोक
सर अशोक हूँ जी न्यूज़ से। फिर से खबरें आ रही हैं बांग्लादेश के चिटागोंग में कि जो अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय के लोग हैं उनके ऊपर फिर से अटैक हुआ है, और क्या ये जो वीडियो वायरल्स हो रहे हैं ये सही हैं, और इसका आधिकारिक रूप से एमईए ने फ्लैग ऑफ किया है क्या इस मैटर को?
ठीक है।
All right, the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson briefing the media over Canada. Apart from other issues, he expressed his concerns over the safety of Indians and the government on attacks on temples in Canada. This briefing was amid the big row that India is having with Canada. In fact, my colleague Mohammad Ghazali joins us to get us more on this. Ghazali, Randir Jaiswal spoke on numerous issues. What were the key takeaways as far as the India-Canada issue is concerned?
So there was this clarity that why this consular services camp, which the Indian High Commission was organizing in community centers, and for Indian community, the community centers are like temples and gurdwaras, where NRIs or Indian citizens who are staying in Canada are offered consular services. Those services generally include a life certificate which every pensioner has to show it to their banks to avail the pension services, and that is why these camps were organized, so that NRIs or the Indian citizens there can avail this service without coming back to India and furnishing these documents. So the spokesperson clearly said that perhaps the security or adequate security was not provided by the Canadian authorities amid the ongoing row between the two communities who are against each other, the separatist and secessionist elements in Canada attacking outside the Hindu temple, attacking the Hindu devotees, and due to the rising tension between the two communities, perhaps that is why the Indian High Commission there has cancelled the consular camp services in one of the venues. He also clarified that this has happened at one of the locations where it was scheduled to be conducted, and at different locations based upon the law and order situation and coordination with the Canadian authorities, camps will be organized in future. And he clearly said that they had requested security they had requested for adequate security to the Canadian authorities, and that was not provided, and hence this decision was taken. This certainly shows the kind of atmosphere which is building up there in Canada. For the last 3-4 days, protests and counter-protests are happening, first by the Khalistani elements and then by the Hindu community. They also held a solidarity march and an awareness march against Hindu phobia. What they say, it's a Hindu phobia, but hate speeches are made against one community or the other, and that is why the situation is very tense over there, and hence the Indian High Commission over there thought of suspending these or cancel the camp services which are being organized in one of the community centers in Brampton.
All right, Mohammad Ghazali, thank you very much for getting us the latest in that story. And Supreme Court has refused to transfer the trial in the RG Kaur rape and murder case from West Bengal to another state. The Chief Justice of India questioned the lawyers, saying, "Don't need your self-gratuitous remarks," and asked another, "Who are you representing to say people in West Bengal have lost faith in the judiciary and administration, etc.?" So the Supreme Court says that it won't transfer the case from Kolkata to other state. The Chief Justice of India questioning the lawyers and saying that we don't need your self-gratuitous remarks, and asked another to who are you representing? So a big question mark over this particular case. The Supreme Court has refused to transfer the trial, and it said that the case won't be transferred to another state, and told the lawyers that they don't need your self-gratuitous remarks there. So the Supreme Court has refused to transfer the trial of the RG Kaur Medical College rape and murder case from West Bengal to another state. This decision, it comes after the court reviewed the progress that were made by the West Bengal government in this particular case, and what it basically meant in terms of the trial progress and the investigation as far as this particular case is concerned. And my colleague Sunil Prabhu joins us on the phone line to get us more on this. Sunil, this case not being moved from West Bengal to other state, what does this decision mean in the larger context?
Well, what it means is that the Supreme Court is having full faith in the way CBI is conducting the investigation, as well as the fact that the lower court has already taken a note of the proceedings, has already the charge sheets have been filed, charges have been framed, and they are satisfied with the progress that is taking place in West Bengal, and clearly not ready to transfer the case from West Bengal state. So it's in that backdrop that the Supreme Court has decided on this aspect.
All right, Sunil Prabhu, thank you very much for getting us the latest in that story. Meanwhile, Congress has suspended Naresh Meena, who is contesting the assembly elections as an independent candidate from the Deoli-Unihara seat after rebelling against the party. Remember, Mr. Meena, he was considered a strong contender from the Congress ticket, but he was overlooked in favor of Kastur Chand Meena, and that is the reason why he decided to contest these assembly elections as an independent candidate. It is now going to be a triangular contest as far as this particular seat is concerned. This suspension, it has turned the by-elections into a three-way contest, which basically means that making it challenging for the Congress in order to win that particular seat. Now, Meena's suspension, it highlights the internal conflicts within the Congress party as well in the particular state. Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India Century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
We reached an agreement on petroling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed.
Welcome back. It is Congress versus the BJP, this time over the Constitution. The Union Minister, he has launched a scathing attack on the Congress, saying that Rahul Gandhi carries a blank copy of the Constitution. Kiran Rijiju, he said that the Congress is insulting the Constitution. BJP, in fact, posted a video of that blank Constitution copy. Congress, in the meanwhile, has hit out at the BJP and said that BJP has systematically assaulted the Constitution.
संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ करके नाटक करने का काम जो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है, संविधान को हाथ में पकड़ने से कुछ नहीं होता है. संविधान के अंदर में जो स्पिरिट है उसको समझना होगा. इसलिए नागपुर में नीला रंग का छोड़ करके लाल रंग में संविधान का कवर पिक्चर डाल करके राहुल गांधी ने नकली संविधान बांटने का काम किया. कवर लगाया, कवर के नीचे में कुछ नहीं था, मुझे बताया गया है. संविधान के बारे में ABC नहीं मालूम है राहुल गांधी को. आज कैसे किस मुंह से वो बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर का नाम ले सकते हैं?
This goes on to prove that they actually questioned Devendra Fadnavis yesterday, questioned the red. Why is Rahul Gandhi holding the red color version of the pocketbook version of the Constitution? They have forgotten that the red is something that symbolizes Shakti in Hinduism, and symbolizes feminine energy, strength and power and bravery. And now they're questioning red, saying that why they are holding the red Constitution. And if Kiran Rijiju has any doubt, I would love to send him the pocketbook version of the Constitution that Rahul Gandhi